Discuss the second question you asked, but before I do that, I would like to backtrack to the question you asked just now, and that was to express this into this form, right? This form, okay? So I showed you one way where I broke this up into something like that because I noticed that there's a 2 hiding inside here, and these 2 combined with these 2, I can take out common factor, and this is actually cos 2x. So that's my approach, okay? But that's because I'm able to see it. So many of you may not be able to see it. So what is a more general method to do this question? The more general method is to observe that the formula sheet, cos square x, right? You actually have cos square x here. Imagine this is x, cos square x here. So you can link it to this cos 2x, which means that cos 2x equals to 2 cos square x minus 1. Correct? Then you make this cos square x the subject. How to do that? Plus 1 both sides. Divide by 2 both sides. So that will be your cos square x. And this you sub here. Alright? And you no longer have the cos square x. Okay, so that's the approach that I'm using. Similarly, I can do the same here. 1 minus 2 sine square x. Okay, remember it's not a but x. Oh, here, sorry. 1 minus 2 sine square x. Okay, I don't know whether just now you can see or not. Let me repeat. This is this. Okay, then this, I make this a subject. So I plus 1 both sides, divide by 2 both sides, I get this. Alright, so that was for this thing here. Now I'm going to get my sine square. How to get my sine square x? Okay, I could have done it as 2 sine square x, but I just show you how I get a sine square x. Okay, so this will be cos 2x. Then I make this become positive. And this will be 1 minus cos 2x. Then I divide by 2 both sides. So I can get this as my answer. Okay, and I'm going to sub this here. And then simplify. So this and this will cancel, this and this will cancel, this one becomes 2. Remember, you must take 2 times both. So it's 2 cos 2x plus 2 minus 1 plus, okay, must be very careful with the sign, plus cos 2x. So you again get 3 cos 2x minus, plus 1, sorry. 2 cos 2x plus 1. So this is the more general method. You see, it's the same as the previous answer. Alright? Okay, we'll leave this question behind. We'll now go to the next question, which I've copied here already because the one in your TYS is very small. Okay, so they say using, so they are hinting to you already. Now, doesn't this look very familiar? So as I mentioned just now, I'm going to go through, just now I went through this already, right? So when you notice that the argument is 2 times of the other, or if this is A, then this is half A, then you can also use double angle, okay? We've done this kind of questions before, but you see this one, that is different. It's not really double angle. It can be double angle later, you see? There's a cos 2x here, so it can be double angle later, but the starting point should be addition formula. Now, what's addition formula? Is this second group of Trigo identities here. Okay, so you take a look, we should not be doing this, we should be doing this. Now, how do I interpret this? The one on top follows the one on top here. So if this is plus, this is minus. If this is minus, this is plus. If this is plus, this is plus. If this is minus, this is minus. So sign has the same sign as. C stands for change the sign. Okay, now I will now do this. Alright, so cos 3x is cos, the first one, right? Okay, wait. If you can't see my formula, you go and refer to your own formula sheet. Okay, so it's the first one. It's cos. I just write the Trigo first. Then because it's plus, right? So it's minus sine something sine. Okay, and what is this first thing? Is what comes first, second thing, first thing, second thing. Okay, now the next part involves a little bit of thinking already. And when I say thinking, is always having the end in mind. Okay, so the end in mind, you can see that there is cosine and there is sine. Alright, so which one should you choose? Because this cosine 2x is made up, see now after addition formula, right, we go back to double angle already. So double angle is very important. So cosine 2x, right, I'm saying this can be this formula or this formula or this formula. So which one should I change to? You see, so if I choose this first one, which is this complicated looking one, then I think the thing will get more complicated, right? Okay, so I perhaps don't want to choose this, or I see what this is first, because this sine 2x, we have no choice. We can only have one formula, and that is 2 sine x cos x. Okay, and then there's another sine x here. Alright, so what I'm trying to do is, I imagine I'm very new to this, I don't know what's going on. So I try and see whether this is anything close to what I have here or not. Oh, can, right? I take out cosine, common factor, I left with the sine square. So in this case, maybe I should change this to something sine square. Okay, because there's a cos here that I can take out common factor, then what's left behind, I need to combine with this, right? Alright, so I probably will use this last one. So that's what I'm trying to say here. Decision making, okay? Having the end in mind helps you to make some decisions. Alright, so you see what I mean or not? This sine square and cos square, we are common, you see. Then this, okay, I expand, then you will see what I mean. 2 sine square x cos x. You see, this and this, they are the same. Then I can combine them into cos. This one not combined, this one is alone. These two I can combine into like that. Okay, and what's after this? You see this, I take out common factor cosine. Alright, so I take out cosine x, 1 minus 4 sine square x. Alright, so I have gotten the answer already. Okay, so very important, you must have the end in mind, and what you put here depends on your end in mind. So you see the decision that I made here, I didn't change it to cosine. You know why? Because if I change to cosine square, right, 2 cosine square x minus 1, this 2 cosine square x times cosine x will cosine cube, but there's no cosine cube here. That's why I choose the other one. Okay, so don't worry in the exam if you make a mistake, then you just backtrack. But you must be very sure that you made a mistake, then you erase or cancel. Okay, now I've done this part already. The second part, right, they want me to find all values of x between 0 and 360 for which this equals to this. Okay, now how do I do that? Okay, so definitely your part A for this kind of question is related to part B. Okay, so you see carefully, this is cos 3x. There's a cos 3x here. So you can replace this whole thing with this thing, leaving the 2 as it is. So it's 2 cos 1 minus 4 sine square x equals to like that. Okay, now It looks very complicated. So what do you think we should do after this? Okay, should we what you call cancel, or can we like, oh, divide both sides by, sorry, I left out an x. Divide both sides by cosine, divide by cosine, because there's a cosine here. Cannot, you cannot do that. Why cannot? Because do you remember, for example, x square is equal to x, they ask you to solve. Okay, if you cancel, you get x equals to 1, right? Okay, but this is wrong, because the correct way is to make the right hand side 0, take out common factor, then there are actually two possible answers, 1, 2. So this is wrong. Okay, so if you were to cancel like that, you will lose one solution. So how do you do? It's the same as your Emaths. Same, exactly the same. Make the right hand side 0. Why make right hand side 0? You minus this whole thing. So it'll be 2 cos. And don't go expand. I know you know I'm very good at expanding. Don't expand, okay? Because they already put everything nicely there for you already. For you to use. Use what? Later I show you, okay? So you see, I minus this on both sides, then I get 0, right? Now, you see, I got cosine here, I can take out common factor. Okay, so when I take out common factor, the common factor will be cos x. Okay, what is left behind? 2 bracket 1 minus 4 sine square. This one I have not done anything. I've not factorized it. I've not done anything there yet. Okay, then now what? Okay, wait. This one is a round bracket. The good thing about YouTube is when I'm doing all these things, I go fast forward. Okay, don't waste time. Don't nothing nice about me blanking, applying correction tape. Nothing interesting also. Okay, don't waste time. Okay. Okay, after this, you see, I need to so-called expand this. What do I mean? You see, either this is this times this, right? So either this equals 0, that's one possible answer, or this equals 0, right? Okay, so either this equals 0, or the inside, I'm going to expand now. 2 minus 8 sine square x minus 15 sine x. This whole thing equals 0. So either this equals 0 or this equals 0, right? It's something like your Emaths, this one. Either this equals 0 or this equals 0. Okay? Now this part equals 0, or I'm going to write this properly now. What do I mean by write it properly? In the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay? And of course, I don't like negative here, so I change all to positive. Yeah, sine x, this sine x, okay? This sine x, then plus 2. Okay, now from this step onwards, you don't go and be a hero and do your cross method and all that, okay? You just press calculator, then you get two different answers. One is 1 over 8. The other one is, when you press calculator, your x is like that. Okay, but you know sine x, the maximum value is 1, minimum value is minus 1, right? So this is not possible. So don't bother. This one you just reject. Okay, or you put not applicable. Okay, but I haven't finished. This is your final answer for this part, right? But you must work backwards using what I taught you. So-called cheating method. Then 8 sine x minus 1, that's one of your answer here, equals 0, and sine x plus 2, that's the other answer here. Now when you do this kind of things, you need to check whether correctly or not. You're done it. Hey, wrong. What did I do wrongly? You see? You see, when you do backwards, the calculator help you check, right? Then you notice that, you made mistake here lah. You change the sign, then you never change here. Okay? Yeah, so that's the benefit of using the calculator. The calculator should be there to help you and not to burden you. Okay? So that is something useful. It helps me to see that, yeah, this time this should be this. Correct. Okay? So done already. Okay. So now we under add mat, because we are solving equation, so under add mat, right, we have obtained the equivalent form. Sine of something equals to a number. Sine of something equals to a number, right? So we have done that already. Now we ask yourself the domain. They ask you to solve from what to what. Is x between 0 and 360. So I write here, x between, x between 0 and 360. They never say inclusive, so you cannot include the 0, cannot put equal sign here. Okay, and when I say check the domain, this x and this x, they're the same, so it's not 2x or 3x, so there's no need to times anything here. Okay, domain done. The mode, please do in degree. And now we do the alpha and the ASTC. Okay, alpha and the ASTC I normally do together. Okay, now I know that, I haven't done my alpha yet. My alpha is sine inverse of this 1/8, and the answer, I've done it already. It's 7.180. Okay, that's to 4 SF. So that's my alpha. I box it up. Now, what does this 7.18 something mean? It's a degree, okay? It's a degree. It's a very small degree, and your sign, you want it to be positive, right? Positive. So the ASTC, so this is okay, acceptable. You want it to be positive. This second one, also you want it. Alright? So this is 7.180. This other side here should be 180 minus 7.180, right? So I continue here, not enough space. X equals to 7.180 or 180 minus 7.180. Okay, or this one reject, right? So you go to here. Now this one, I would really recommend you use graph to help you do instead, so that you're at the same time revising your graph and you won't forget. So remember, your cosine graph starts from here. How do I know you sub 0? Inside you'll find that it's 1. So quarter of an egg, quarter of an egg, quarter of an egg, quarter of an egg, right? So there are 4 quarters of an egg. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4 quarters of an egg. Okay, now I want cosine 0. 0 is here and here. Okay, and we know that for this graph, 1 full cycle is 360 divided by n, that's 1, so it's 360 lah. 360 halfway is 180, halfway is 90, 9, 18, 27. So answer is, you want cosine to be 0, right? So it happens at 90 and 270. Answer 90, 270. Okay? Now, if there is a, for example, if there's a plus minus here, then you will accept all the answers in all the quadrants. Okay? Yeah, but there isn't now, so, oops, sorry. For degree answer, it must be 1 dp. So it's 7.2. This one is 172.8, 90 or 270. Okay, now in the exam, there's no need to arrange in ascending order. If you are rushing, don't waste time arranging, okay? Because arranging takes time. But you need to list out all your answers for this, this one you reject, so no need.